Hello folks, welcome back. Now let's see how to create a bullet list in Jupyter Notebook. So let me create a heading, bullet lists. Okay, I'll convert it as a markdown. Now, again, all this bullet list, I'm going to create it in the markdown. Right? So to create the first bullet list, given hyphen space item 1, hyphen space item 2. Right? So I'm giving item 2. Right? So if I want to create a sub item again, give hyphen, give space, and then sub item here. Right? So, and I'm just going to run this. You can see how giving an hyphen space has created it as a bullet list. And giving a double indentation and giving an hyphen creates it as a sub bullet list. Right? So this is how it should be. Right? So if there is another way, right? So if I'm going to create another way to create a bullet list is just creating in star, right? So another way to create a bullet list, right? So if I give a star, so this will again create it as a bullet list, right? So this is very much essential when you start creating in markdown files and you want to add something in the comments and you want to convey to the end users what is this block of code doing, then you'll start using the markdown cells. That time this becomes very essential. Now let's see how to create a numbered list. Like in similar ways, how you are given a hyphen. Here you are going to give a number dot space and you are going to type something. It's a, for example, I'm going to give it as a first step, 2 dot second step, 3 dot third step, escape. M will make it as a markdown. Therefore, you can see first step, second step, and third step. So this is how the output is. Right? Now, how to create an inline code. What is an inline code? Let's look at it. Inline code and code blocks. How to create an inline code? Say for example, I'm just typing it. Use print. This is a keyword, correct? To display the output. Right? So I'm converting it as a markdown. Now this is just looking like another string. Instead, I want to highlight this, or in other words, this is an code. This is an inline code. Right? So I'm going to give an function here, the apostrophe, single apostrophe. It's going to convert to an inline code. Right? So you're going to give, this is how this is a keyword. You're going to highlight this and you're going to say that this is a keyword. Right? So now you want to create some block codes. How will you create in block codes? Right? So give the right arrow, given space. This is a code. Right? So this will automatically create a single indentation and this will create it as a code. Now I'm going to give 2 double arrow. This is double intended. Convert as a markdown. You can see and double indentation is created. Right? So and you can also make it triple indented. This is triple indented. Right? So you can create the 3 level of indentation when you are creating as a block of a code. So there's a code, there's a double intended code, there's a triple intended code. Right? So these are some simple shortcuts where you can add it in the markdown cells. Now I want to add links. Adding links and images. How will I add a link and images? right? So in the Markdown, what is that you want to display? Right? Say for example, Amazon, right? So what am I going to do here is open and bracket. You're going to put HTTPS colon. What is that URL? www.amazon.in, right? So and you're going to close it and you'll execute it. So this becomes as an hyperlink. The moment I click it, so it will automatically open the Amazon website, right? So Amazon, right? So I'm going to give, and within the square bracket, what is that name it should display, and how will I convert it as an hyperlink, right? So within an open and close bracket, what is that link that I want to put in? I'm going to put in here. So this becomes as an hyperlink and automatically it will open, right? So for example, I want to add an image from an URL, right? So I can add an image by adding an apostrophe. So let's add an name here. I'll call it as Python logo, and within the bracket I'm going to give this link, right? So what is present in this link? Just explode it. So you can see there is some Python logo, right? So if I'm going to execute this, right, you can see I have brought this Python logo right away here, right? So given exclamation mark, open close square bracket, what is the name that you want to display here? And within the open and close bracket, what is the URL in which that you want to have? And you're going to run this and you can have this here, right? So this is what that we are having here. So how can I add an link and an image to the Markdown file? Now let's see how to add emojis. How to add emojis. This is just for fun. Nothing. It's if at all it's needed. Say for example, I love Python. I've run this. Okay, you can add an emoji right away here, right? So this gives you a very good idea how to add comments, how to create a new Markdown cells, how to add the heading cells, right? So how can you say for example you're going to write a list of goals for the course, right? So how can you format some syntax as bold, italic? How can you add a simple Python code block, right? So how can you add a simple code block within the Markdown cell, right? So all these things can be done using what we have seen so far, right? So what does this Markdown do? So the Markdown cell helps us to organize, explain and communicate better inside the Jupyter notebooks, right? So we are going to use it to document your learning and make your notebooks clean and professional, right? So in the forthcoming sessions we are going to look at, we'll start with various different coding blocks, right? So actual coding like variables, syntax, comments and our first program. So even before that, it's very important for us to get comfortable with the Jupyter notebook, right? So what is a code block, what is a Markdown cell, right? So whether you are using in Jupyter notebook, whether you are using in VS Code or whether you are using in a Google Colab, right? So everything is same, whether it is in code or on Markdown. How do you add the comments is very, very important throughout your programming career, right? Now let's see what is an operator and what is an expression. What is an expression? Expression and operators, two different terms that I've spoke about. What are expressions? So expression is a combination of values and operators that Python can elevate to a result. Looks so technical, isn't it? What is it? Very simple, right? So you're going to put 3 plus 5, you're getting 8. So this is an expression that's elevating, that's evaluating to an answer, right? So you're going to express something and you get evaluated out of that cell. That's what an expression is. What are Python operators? We have the classical arithmetic operators from our high school concepts, right? So we have addition, subtraction, multiplication, right? So I have all the things added here, right? So you can see that there are various different operators: the addition, the subtraction, multiplication, division, floor division, modulus, exponential, right? So all these things can be added here. I don't want to get too much into it, just the addition. I've also given the examples here, right? So all the basic arithmetic operations can be performed in Python, right? So 5 minus 3, right? So you're going to do and 10 by 2, right? So you can see all the basic operations, the arithmetic operations can be performed in the Jupyter Notebook. So these are called as arithmetic operators, right? So this plus, minus, star. So this division. What is a floor division, right? So 2 2s are 4, whatever the divisor is, right? So that becomes your floor division. What is the modulus? The remainder. 5 mod 2. 2 2s are 4, right? So this becomes your divisor. 1 is your remainder. That's what your modulus is. What is an exponential? 2 star star 3. It is nothing but 2 to the power 3. 2 2s are 4, 4 2s are 8. That is 2 to the power 2 cube, right? So 2 to the power 3 is what the exponential is, right? So that's what we are doing here. And we have the classic assignment operator. What does this assignment operator do? It is used to assign or update a value. I'm giving x is equal to 5. So what does it mean? I'm assigning value 5 to this variable x. X is a variable. I'm using an assignment operator is equal to, right? So I'm assigning value 5 to this variable x. That's what this assignment operator is. Now how will I run this? Control plus enter or shift plus enter. Now I'm again going to give x plus equal to 2. So what does it do? X is equal to x plus 2. So x has this value 5. Now x plus 2 is 7. Now let's print x. So 7, right? So that's what it is present in this variable x. Now again I can give x minus equal to 1. Now let's print x. Take a moment. Pass. What will happen here? X is equal to x minus 1. 7 minus 1. So 6 should be printed here, right? So that's what this assignment operators are, right? So similarly, when I give x star is equal to 3 is nothing but x is equal to x star 3, right? So if I give slash is equal to x is equal to x by 2, right? So let's try that alone. X is equal to x slash is equal to 2. Print x. So what does it mean? X is equal to x by 2, 6 by 2. Now let's run this. It is 3. So that is what is present here in this assignment operator, right? So that's what this assignment operators are. So I've given all the assignment operators, given some examples, and what is the meaning to this assignment operator. Now what is a comparison operator? Now I need to compare, right? So these are the conditions. So these are used in conditions and if else statements. If x is double equal to 5, true or false. X, what is this exclamation mark is equal to? Is not equal to, right? So whether x is not equal to 3, whether it is true or false, right? So 5 is greater than 3, whether it is true or false. This true or false, in other words, these are Boolean in nature, right? So let's give and score is equal to 90. Now I'm going to print score is greater than equal to 60. If I'm going to run this, this will return me an Boolean output, right? So this is not a string, rather this is Boolean. True or false is an Boolean data type, right? So this will return me in Boolean output, right? So that's what here we are doing, is double equal to whether x double equal to 5, right? So 5 double equal to 5, this will result me in true. Not equal to 5, not equal to 3, it's again true. Greater than 5 is greater than 3, this is true. What is less than 5 less than 3 is false. Greater than or equal to, less than or equal to. Just a high school basic comparison operators that we can perform again in Python. And we have the logical operator. So what is a logical operator? So these logical operators are used to combine multiple conditions. What is a multiple condition? I'm going to define x is equal to 9. Now I'm going to say if x is greater than 5 and x less than 10, print true. Right, so I'm going to make it as a string. Else print false. Right? So I've defined x is equal to 9. X is 9 is greater than 5, less than 10. Therefore, it's getting into this conditional statement. Right? So what is that important thing that we need to understand here? So we have used a logical operator, and that means all conditions must be true. What are the all conditions? The first condition and second condition both must be true. Now second one, let's say x is equal to 4. Right? So if x is greater than 5 or x less than 10, again, let's copy the same code block here. Right? So now let's run this. Right? So again, it's giving me in true. If at all I have given 4 here, right? So this would have written false. Right? So I've used an or as an logical operator. Right? So if you go to your high school again, at least one condition is true. What are the two conditions that we have? X is less than 5 or x is greater than 15. I've given x is greater than 5 or x is less than 10. Either one of this condition, x is 4 here, this is not true. X is less than 10, this becomes true. So this or is working fine and returning me in true. What does this not? This reverses and condition. What is reversing and condition? Right? So x is 4. Let it remain 4. Not x greater than 10. So what should be the output? It is supposed to be false. Is x greater than 10? No, it is rather less than 10. Whatever the output is, this not will reverse it. If it is false, it will make it as true. If it is true, this will make it as false. So that is what the nature of not. Reversing a condition is what it is doing. Right? So and at last, we'll also look at this membership operator. So what is a membership operator? In and not in. Right? So whether, let's print yes in Sarvesh. Right? So yes in Sarvesh, whether a letter, a character is present in a string. Right? So again, print, let's copy paste the same thing. Not in, not space in. Right? So you can see the moment I've given in space, this has become green in color. So what happens when it is in green in color? These are reserved keywords. You cannot use this to store any variables. These are reserved keywords. Now if I'm going to run this, this will show it as false, because whenever I put this not, this will reverse this output. It is actually present. Right? So when I give not in, this will reverse the output. That's what this membership operator does. Right? So we have seen the different operators and what is an expression, what is an operators, and we have also seen how to add quotes, bullets, and numbered list in this session. Right? So in the forthcoming session, let's continue with this order of precedence and few other concepts. Thank you.